Hi everyone, we're going to start a new one today, and I'm starting a cold wax on oil paper. Again, this is the Arches oil paper, and it's made specifically for oil, so you do not have to gesso it. The surface is ready to go. What I've done is I've taped 3 sides onto a piece of freezer paper. The reason why I like to use freezer paper, tape it onto that, is because it will keep the back clean in case I want to mount it onto a panel. So that way it is protected. So I'm getting ready to tape the 3rd side now. And then I'll start with some art making, and I'm going to use a couple different things. Now, I want to carefully put this tape down so it's right on the edge. Keep that clean when I take those the tape off, that I'll have a nice, clean, sharp margin. And again, I'm going to take my nail over it really, really well, because I don't want paint to get underneath the tape. Even though I'm going to mat it, I still want it to be nice and clean. I did take my nail over this section before, but double check and make sure you get your corners good. I'm going to do that one more time. Make sure it's down. Okay. And the last video I did, I had it separated. I've decided I'm not going to separate it. I'm just going to have one big large piece. I probably will mount this onto a panel. Don't know yet, but we'll see. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start with some marks. And this is a blue marker. Here we have, this is a pencil that's for paper, glass, plastic, and metal. It's kind of a waxy feel to it, but in some areas I'm making it really dark, and other areas I'm making it lighter. I'm not thinking. It's really important not to think. It's just about a shot I need to sharpen that piece. And this is the same thing, and this is a Stabilo. It's for paper, glass, plastic, and metal as well, but this one is made by Stabilo. Whoops, there we go. Well, let's see if I can sharpen it again, because I do want to use this. And then we want a fine lead pencil, and this is just your standard number 2. You can see those lines are much thinner and lighter. You want some thick lines, thin lines, light lines, heavy lines. You want straight lines and curvilinear lines. You need a little bit of both. a lot of these lines are going to be scratched or covered up. I'm going to try to keep some of them. And here is a Liquitex marker. And I have already decided that my colors are going to be brown and blue. So that's why I use the blue marker, and this is more of a brown marker, and I want to see if I can get this much thinner. This line is much thinner than that line. And I'm going to use this. This is that elegant writer that I was telling you guys about that I really love. You can get this in different colors at the craft stores. I got this one online from Amazon, but I do know that you can purchase these at AC Moore or Michael's, because I've seen them there. If not, just Google elegant writer, and like I say, they come in different colors. And I am going to show you kind of what this does. I also want to put some of this art graft into it for some big dark lines. Okay, wipe my fingers off a little bit, and then I'm going to spray this with water. I'm going to show you what that elegant writer did. I forget where I had it. Let me just put a little bit right here as well. But I missed it. Can you see it smearing? I love that. Wow. Isn't that wonderful? Wow. I think I had some over here. Ooh. I think there was some over here. Ah, look at this. Just look at this. Okay, I'm really happy with that. Now, I was going to take some cold wax over it, but it's pretty wet. What I'm going to do is, instead of sealing this with just plain cold wax, like I did in the last two pieces that I did on paper, I'm going to use a glaze. and I'm going to use some of that yellow that I had mixed up for those paintings that I just finished, and I didn't use the yellow, so it's sitting over here on my palette, and I want to be able to use it up. So I'm just going to blot some of this water up. Wow, there's a lot of water. See what I have after I lift it. Oh, still good. I still have my blurry lines, which I was interested in retaining. Maybe I just won't go over some of the areas that are really, really wet. Okay, now I'm going to use my bowl scraper, and I'm going to grab some of that Indian yellow and yellow. And I had mixed this up yesterday. So let's just, and this is a transparent, as you can see. Isn't that pretty? Wow. And like I said, I'm going to have this one to be more neutral colors, so I am just going to use a little bit of this. This is the yellow, but it has white in it, so it's not going to be as transparent as you can see, but you can still see through it a little bit. And this is just an underpainting, of course. Ugly, ugly, ugly now. Trying to avoid some of these big wet areas. Oh, that's interesting what happened there. Well, it ended up almost covering the entire thing anyway. Now you can see it's really wet because the paper's bubbling up. And you know, while this cold wax is on here in this color, I think I just might drip it a little bit with oiler boiler. See what happens. We'll just see. Okay, now we have to wait just for a few seconds for that to soak in. I don't know if I'm going to get any marks lifting or not because it's on paper and it's very absorbent. So we will see. I usually just put clear cold wax on top of my marks. So get a paper towel ready. And one thing that you do want to do when you pull your solvent from your oiler boiler is every time that you pull, you want to make sure that you wipe all that excess off of your bowl scraper. Otherwise, you're going to end up smearing a lot of things. So here we go. I don't know if it's been long enough or not. No, it hasn't. It's not coming, nothing's coming up. Maybe a little bit. Let's just let it sit there for just a couple more seconds. some more over on that side. See if I have a stronger. That is a stronger solvent. This was actually orange terpene, which I use. It's non-toxic, and it's what kitchens use to clean the grease off of their appliance. So it is non-toxic, and it's a really good solvent. So we'll let that on just for a couple minutes, and then tomorrow I'll start painting this. And I'm going to use, like I said, earth colors and blues. So that's been my decision. So let's see what we have. I think this should be on long enough now. You know what? Nothing's happening because the paper is so absorbent. So with that said, I'm just going to take all of the solvent off. And we will let it dry until tomorrow. I think what I'm going to do, draw a little bit with a pencil yet. And let's go back into it with this. You can see, I'm not thinking, I am just having fun. This is the fun stage. And so it's a mess. We'll see what happens tomorrow. I hope I'm as lucky as I am with this piece as I was with the other one. So we'll see. I'm going to let it sit until tomorrow, and everything's sealed with the cold wax. So some goop right there. So I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. And thank you. Bye-bye.